Good morning, everyone. You have studied that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. All living organisms, plants, and animals are made up of tiny microscopic cells. The cell, whether that of a unicellular organism or a multicellular organism, consists of protoplasm, the living substance. You have also learnt that there are various organelles present inside the cell. These organelles are arranged in a highly organized manner to perform specific functions. Cells organize to form tissues. Tissues organize to form organs, and organs further form organ systems. The organ systems are present in both plants and animals of higher groups. Thus, one can say that the bodies of plants and animals are organized structures, and hence they are called organisms. Tissues. All multicellular organisms, animals and plants, start their life as a single cell, the fertilized egg or zygote. The fertilized egg divides repeatedly to produce thousands, millions, or billions of cells. Some of these cells form skin, some form muscles, and some other form bones, and still other form blood. A group of organs or cells which are similar in structure and perform a specific function form a tissue. Again, I'll repeat. A group of cells which are similar in structure and perform a specific function form a tissue. For example, the surface cells of the skin form one tissue. The cells constituting muscles are contractile and constitute the muscle tissue. Or the green cells of a leaf form one tissue, and the wood forming cells of the stem constitute another tissue. Kinds of tissue. The bodies of plants and animals consist of different types of tissues, each of which performs a specific function. Plant tissues. Plant tissues are basically of two kinds, meristematic and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues are made up of actively dividing cells. It is actively dividing cells. Their only function is to produce more cells, leading to the growth of the plant body. Meristematic tissues are found at all growing points in a plant, like the tip of roots, stems, and branches, where growth in length occurs. The growth in the thickness of stem is also due to meristematic tissues. The main characteristics of meristematic tissues are also follows. The cells are small, the cell walls are thin, the nuclei are large and conspicuous. The cells are almost without vacuoles. The cells actively divide to add new cells. Permanent tissues. Permanent or non-dividing tissues. The permanent tissues form the bulk of the plant body. These tissues do not divide. They become specialized and remain same throughout their life. New cells are formed when the meristematic cells divide. These newly formed cells grow mature and get differentiated into various types of permanent tissues. Permanent tissues do not divide further. A permanent tissue is a group of cells in which growth has either stopped completely or for the time being. The permanent tissue can be classified into simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, according to the function, it is divided into two types: protective tissue and supportive tissue. Protective tissue. It consists of cells with thick walls. These are found on the surface of roots, stems and leaves. Example, epidermis of leaves, which secretes a waxy waterproof substance. Supporting tissues. Supporting tissues has mainly three categories: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma is composed of large thin-walled cells, usually with intercellular space. These are the living cells and are found in the soft part of the plant. They store food material and also provide temporary support to the plant. Potatoes are mainly composed of parenchyma cells. Storing starch. Some parenchyma cells contain chlorophyll, as in leaf, for the manufacture of food. Collenchyma is made up of living cells which are elongated and are thick at the corners or edges. The tissue is found in the leaf stalk and below the epidermis of stems. This tissue helps to support the plant parts. Sclerenchyma is composed of long, narrow and thick-walled cells. These are dead cells. This tissue provides strength to the plant part. It is found in stems and veins of the leaves mostly as fibers. Complex permanent tissues. Complex permanent tissues are conducting tissues, so also called the vascular tissues. It provides a passage for a transport of materials in the plant. Xylem and phylum are the two types of conducting tissues. Xylem is formed of thick-walled tubular and often dead cells. These cells are placed end to end. The partitions between the cells dissolve to form long channels for the transport of water and minerals. The xylem tissue consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Xylem cells transport water and minerals absorbed by the roots from the soil upward to the leaves. The water is used in preparing glucose during photosynthesis or lost as water vapor in transpiration. Old xylem forms the wood and does not participate in the transport of food. Phylum is formed of living tubular cells which provides a passage for the downward and upward movement of the food manufactured in the leaves to various parts of the plant. The phylum consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, and phylum parenchyma and phylum fibers. Thank you.